head, okay? I'll get you over
Down on the
tomorrow.
floor, Maddie.
Oh, and you need
Down
to
on the floor.
Oh, take your shoes off.
And why can't we have shoes on?
Well,
Because it looks better with just socks.
Yes. There we go.
Put them on your feet. There you go. Yeah, tomorrow you'll probably have, some really cool looking stuff.
There we go. All right. Remember, when it starts, you're on. We're going to keep going. We're not going to stop. Yep, you're actually going to throw it during the
Just a
practice.
little bit. No
Yeah.
reverse.
Little tiny pieces at a time. Here we go.
That have enough for the whole
3,
Little tiny pieces.
2, 1.
Grit. 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 Grit.
Thank you for coming today to Whoville. Glad Tidings, for her special Christmas performance. This is not a sad play, but a happy one. The Grinch is a great Christmas story that has been around for decades. And today, we hope that you enjoy our unique twist on this classic tale. Please, put your hands together for GT Kids, How the Grinch Found Jesus.
Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived north of Whoville, did not. Some thought his head wasn't screwed on just right. Some thought perhaps that his shoes were too tight. Others thought that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. He didn't know God loved him, and that was the reason.
Trim up the tree with Christmas stuff, like bingo balls and hoo-hoo fluff. Trim up the town with goo-hoo gums and gasolinks and wands. Trim every blessed window and trim every blessed door. Hang up hoo-hoo picks, then run out and get some more. Hang pantukas on the ceilings, pile pampunas on the floor.
Trim every blessed needle on the blessed Christmas tree. Christmas comes tomorrow.
Trim you, trim me. Trim up your pets with fuzzle fuzz and bliffer bloofs and wuzzle buzz. Trim up your uncle and your aunt with yards of poof on flat. Trim every house in Whoville from the cellar to the roof. Hang up a mile of dafflers and 3 miles of snappers through. Hang dang donglers on the bathtub. Trim the occupant with floof.
To every home in Whoville and to every blessed who. Christmas comes tomorrow.
Trim me, trim you. Trim up the tree with Christmas stuff, like bingo balls and hoo-hoo fluff. Trim up the town with goo-hoo guns and bizzle binks. And trim up the tree with bizzle binks and wands.
Then they go right off the stage, right? Go right off stage.
Something wrong with his heart, not his head or his shoes. He stood there on Christmas Eve, hating those who's, staring down from his cave with a sour Grinch frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy decorating and hanging their wreaths. he snarled with a sneer. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming.
Oh, wait, I came in too early. Wait, sorry, go back.
For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early, and they'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise. Oh, the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, they would stand close together with church bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, sing, sing. Sing. But don't hit play if they're walking still. And sing, 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 sing.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dun dun dun. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. In Bethlehem in Israel, this blessed babe was born, and laid within a manger upon this blessed morn. The witch's mother Mary did nothing take in scorn. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Fear nothing, said the angel, and nothing you will find. This day is born a Savior of a pure virgin bride, to free all those who trust in Him from Satan's power and might. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
I'm going to start reading when I get tired. I can't breathe. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought he must stop this whole thing. Like for 53 years, he's put up with it now. got an idea. An awful idea. Oh, the Grinch got a wonderfully awful idea. He knew just what he'd do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. And he made a quick red Christmas hat and a coat. He chuckled and clucked. Yeah. What a great trick this will be. With his coat and his hat, he can be super sneaky. All he needed was a reindeer. The Grinch looked up.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you, it's him. But since reindeer are scarce,
Don't give this tomorrow.
there was not to be found. I'm not going to look. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
so he called his dog.
Reverse order. That's okay.
Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Ready for bed and on their knees in the house of Cindy Lou. Goodnight prayers were being prayed by all the little Who's.
Dear Jesus, I thank you for my friends and family, the love, the laughter, and the joy you have given me.
We thank you for this Christmas Eve. Because of you, we know the reason.
And help all the Who's, the small and the tall.
To help the sick and the poor, dear Lord, help them all.
We thank you for dying and being our Savior. We ask that you forgive from our misbehavior. But if we have one more request, it's the Grinch, dear Lord. I'm sure you have guessed.
Some say he's no good, that he's a mean mischief maker. He's evil, a scoundrel, a deadbeat, a taker.
That Grinch, he just doesn't know you yet like the rest of us before Jesus we met. Or maybe he's confused. He doesn't understand your grace, your compassion, your mercy so grand. Help his eyes to open, help his fear to grow, so now we know. Now he has the same love we know. Jesus, we thank you and praise you for hearing us pray. May everyone everywhere celebrate your Christmas Day. In Jesus' name, amen.
What a beautiful What a beautiful prayer, my sweet little Who's. Christmas is coming. What wonderful news. Now we'll sing our Christmas Eve song, and then Christmas will be here. It won't be too long. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said,
Giddy up, Max. Giddy up, Max. Pull the sleigh on down. Let's get started and head to town.
all their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. First, the Grinch strolled past Glad Tidings Church. Looking for goodies, he began his search.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart's a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nauseous super nos. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of rubbish imaginable, mangled up, entangled up knots. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stank, stunk.
Yes. Yes. He walked walked up the street to the first little house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The old Grinchy Grinch hissed, and he went right on in, empty bags in his fist. He snuck in the house and thought, this is a cinch. Tiptoeing around, you're a mean Mr. Grinch. Oh, the little whose stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings are the first to go.
You have to fill them up in your bag and you can take it to him. Then he slithered and he slunk. Yes. With a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns, and plums. He stuffed them in bags, no matter whose name was on the tags. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the who's feast. He took the who's pudding. You're getting all the packages on the bottom of that tree and putting them in your bag. And he took the who's pudding and he took the roast beef. He cleaned out the fridge as quick as a flash, while the Grinch even took the last can of Who Hash. He grabbed up the tree. When he heard the small sound, like the coo of a dove, he turned around fast, and he saw a small who, with a smile so bright, she said, the Grinch had been caught by this little who daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared and she said, but you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. That mean old Grinch lied.
There's a light on this tree that's on one side, so I'm going to take it home to a workshop right here. I'm going to take it, fix it up there, and bring it back here.
And his fib fooled the child, so he patted her head. He got her a drink. And then he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he grabbed up that tree and he called to his pup.
Come on, man.
Then he did the same things to the other whose houses. Riley got to follow him, leaving crumbs much too small for the other whose mouses. It was 1:15 dawn. All those who's still in bed. All the who's still a snooze. He packed up that sled. He packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. They're just waking up. He goes just to the mouths willing open for just a minute or two.
All the who's in Whoville cry boo-hoo.
That's the noise the Grinch always wanted to hear. So he paused and he held out his hand to his ear. Then he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low and then it started to grow.
is the door is welcome in the cold dark night. Welcome Christmas, Wahoo Ramus. Welcome Christmas, Dahu Damus. Welcome Christmas while we stand heart to heart and hand in hand.
Well, that sound wasn't sad. Why, this sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. So Mr. Grinch leaned in to hear what the Whos were all saying. But to his surprise, they were not just talking, but praying.
Thank you, dear God, for your gifts of above.
You sent down your Son full of goodness and love. Toys are important with gifts wrapped in tags.
It's not about packages, boxes, or bags.
We know that Christmas does not come from a store.
We know that Christmas means a whole lot more.
The gift that you have given is the best one ever. It's you, Jesus, and we love you forever.
You changed the world to make us so new.
We pray that the Grinch will choose you too.
Born unto us this day a Savior, gifted from heaven to a manger. The hope of the world's alive for all mankind. All of the earth rejoice, it's Christmas time. So lift up your voice and sing out His praise. It's Christmas, born is the King, rejoice in the day. It's Christmas, make a joyful sound. It's Christmas, let His praise resound. It's Christmas. Goodwill to all the earth and peace divine. All of the earth rejoice, it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. So lift up your voice and sing out His praise. It's Christmas, born is the King, rejoice in the day. It's Christmas, make a joyful sound. It's Christmas, let His praise resound. It's Christmas, so lift up your voice and sing out His praise. It's Christmas, born is the King, rejoice in the day. It's Christmas.
Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart, this is when we need the table, grew 3 sizes that day. I can't read like this. The minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, Jesus came in and made everything right. So full of the Spirit, he knew just what to do. He'd return everything to every last few. So Max and the Grinch, they brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Make sure you have some, as the Who hashes passed. We will sing one more song, and this will be our last.
And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
J to the O to the Y. I got the J to the O to the Y. J to the O to the Y. I got the J to the O to the Y. I got the J. Come on, joy. I got the joy. I got the joy. I got the joy.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. I got the joy, I got the joy, I got the joy, you got the why. I got the joy, I got the joy, joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. I got the joy, I got the joy, Do you wonder why we celebrate each year? Everybody thinks about the baby boy. Some of us are happier because we know that this little bitty child came to save us, and that's why we have this joy. I got the joy, I got the joy, I got the joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
He used to be mean, but now he is glad. Today is the best day that he ever had.
If you want what I have found, grab Pastor Brian and come right on down.
Then we freeze until Pastor Brian says to get down. Okay? And we just keep smiling. You guys did it! Are you happy? Yes. Okay. 35 minutes. Okay, good. Okay, so